Shalom. This week's Parsha teaches us a very powerful lesson. Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, comes to attack the people of Israel. How does he do that? He goes and he hires a man whose name is Bilam ben Beor. Bilam, son of Beor. Why did he do that? Chazal tell us a very powerful lesson from the pasuk Me'oivai techakmeni. Me'oivai techakmeni means, from my enemies I should become wiser. Now that has two understandings. The first one is that I should be smarter than my enemies. That's number one. Number two, however, is that if I want to understand myself, the most powerful thing I can do is see how my enemies view me. Me'oivai techakmeni, let me become wiser from my enemies. When an enemy comes to attack, what's the first thing they do? They ask themselves, what are the strengths and what are the weaknesses of the person that I'm coming to attack? Balak said to himself, what is the strength of this nation? This is the way that our sages of blessed memory explain what happened in this week's Parsha. He said to himself, this nation, their power is in their mouth. And if that's the case, I have to fight fire with fire. He went and he hired Bilam ben Beor, who had the power of curse. His power was in his mouth, to come and fight with the children of Israel, who had the power of the mouth. And that power is prayer. This is a lesson that we see not only in this week's Parsha, we see it in last week's Parsha as well. When Aaron HaKohen died, all of a sudden the clouds of glory, the Ananei HaKavod, disappeared, and the people of Israel became revealed to all. The first thing that happened was a certain nation came to attack them, the people of Amalek. But they had a dilemma. They said to themselves, if we come and we attack them outright, Bnei Yisrael are going to open up in prayer to Hashem, to the Ribono Shel Olam, and they're going to say, give us the Amalekites, and we're going to lose. So they decided, we're going to use psychological warfare. They started making public announcements. They started speaking loudly in the Canaanite language, because they knew that from a distance, the thing you're going to do is you're going to hear what's going on more than you'll see. And they said to themselves, they'll hear us speaking in Canaanite. They'll pray to Hashem, God, please give us the Canaanite people. And Hashem will say, that was a wonderful prayer, just there's no Canaanites in front of you. And that was the hope of Amalek, that would confuse the power of tefillah, and they'd be able to win. But Bnei Yisrael, Baruch Hashem, didn't only use their ears, they used their eyes. And they saw that they were dressed like Amalekites, and they were speaking the language of Canaan, and therefore they said to Hashem, Im naton titen li et ha'am hazeh, give me that nation. And that's what happened. The power of tefillah is immense. The lesson that we are to learn from this week's Parsha is that each and every one of us, every person, every child of Israel, and every person really in the world, has the tremendous power to connect to Hashem, to connect to God via tefillah, via prayer. As the pasuk says, we say it several times every day in Psalms and the Tehillim. It says, Karov Hashem lekol korav. Hashem is close to all those who call Him. V'chol asher yikra'u be'emet, to anyone who calls Him truthfully. My friends, we need to learn from this week's Parsha what our real power in life is. If I want this to have an effect on my life, if I want to have an effect on the lives of my family, the lives of my friend, my community, my country, the whole world, I have at my disposal an incredible power to do good, and that is to pray. Chazal tell us in Masechet Brachot that there are things that stand at the height of the heavens, and people make fun of them. And that is talking about tefillah, says Rashi. We need to connect to our power of tefillah. We need to understand how precious tefillah is, because it's via tefillah, it's via prayer that we connect to the God that created the universe, to the Ribono Shel Olam. Bezrat Hashem, we should learn from this week's Parsha the immense power of prayer that we have, and start using it for my benefit, the benefit of my country, the benefit of my family, and the benefit of the entire world. Shabbat Shalom.